Good afternoon and welcome to the FA Cup live across BBC Sport. For those of you who love a cup set, what better way to grab your attention for the next couple of hours than our BBC cameras being at Barlow's Park for the prospect of a bit of potential giant killing. Host Tadley Calleva, representing the Combined Counties Division south of the 9th tier. They're here in the FA Cup first qualifying round for the third time in their history, but they've never gone any further than this stage. So in order for that to change, they're going to have to topple one of the biggest names currently in the competition, Weymouth FC, for who it's been an eventful week, which began with the resignation of their chairman, followed by the sacking of their manager. They have a new man in the dugout, more on that shortly. But let's get the introductions in. I'm Tom Gale, and alongside me is Danny Webber, a striker who was part of the Portsmouth squad, who reached the FA Cup final and beaten by Chelsea in 2010. Danny, which dressing room would you prefer to be in, underdogs or favourites?
I think looking at the situation for Tadley Calleva, you've got everything to gain. I think so. It would be nice to be in that dressing room, knowing full well you've got Weymouth who've come down, well, 2 divisions above you, and you know you can possibly perform a giant killing today in terms of where they are in this stage of the FA Cup.
You do have memories of both ends of the tier in terms of obviously going on that successful run with Portsmouth, but also with Salford as well. Non-league, you scored a big goal for them in the first round proper against Notts County, so you truly do get the essence of what the FA Cup is all about. Yeah,
100%, and these early stages of the FA Cup, they're magical, they really are. And you know, a lot of people only see it when he gets into sort of the third round, when the big teams come into it, but there's a lot that goes on before it, and playing at Salford was a massive period for me and a real eye-opener, and I enjoyed it.
So we mentioned in the build-up there, it's been an eventful time for Weymouth. They parted company with Warren Feeney, and they've welcomed back a club legend to lead them here this afternoon. It was Steve Claridge who was appointed on Thursday, and as you can see from the footage that we're showing you here, it wasn't Jack Grealish who first created that low sock look. This is him in his heyday in the 90s, scoring close to 400 professional goals, played professional football for just shy of 25 years. And Danny, when you were coming through, he was a man you would have known all about.
Yeah, he was playing at Millwall and Leicester at those times, and you know, you're looking as a young player to the older players of your generation as to what to do on the pitch, and he was streetwise. He knew exactly how to play as a striker, and scored the scruffy goals as well as you know, causing big problems for defenders.
He was definitely a poacher striker in and around the box, just as you're seeing here. And he's delighted to be back at a club that means so much to him. We talked about Weymouth being potentially the biggest club left in the competition at this stage. They do have history at the first round proper, so we're going to run you back, rewind the years. 3 years ago, 2022. This is Akeem Rose, his second half free kick in the then National League South side. A 1-1 draw and a replay with League 2 AFC Wimbledon. And then 20 years ago, this is footage from the City Ground, the home of the former European champions, and Weymouth went there. Andy Harris heading home from the corner. So we talked about you prefer to be an underdog, Danny. What about Weymouth? Because there's expectation, there's a high-profile managerial appointment. This is where you look to your experienced players, isn't it, to really steady the ship?
Yeah, for sure. And I think with Steve Claridge having gone in there this week, I think it's a bonus in terms of he comes with a structure, he comes with a certain level of authority, and you know, he said during the week that he will keep it simple, put a structure in place and expect the boys to go out and deliver.
We did actually, just before myself and Danny came on air, we caught a glimpse of the new Steve Claridge, is it fair to say? 59 years young, and he's had a bit of a glow up, and he's looking good for it.
He looked $1 million. When I saw him, I thought he was in his mid-30s, so he's doing something right.
Well, we all know about the managerial bounce, don't we? Obviously, there's Weymouth, his expectations. They're supposed to win this game, but whatever level it is, maybe talk us through that change of voice, isn't it? Obviously, he has the pedigree in terms of what he brings as a player as well, that gravitas. How important could that be for what is potentially a tricky afternoon for Weymouth?
It could be huge, and what you'll get with Steve Claridge is he'll simplify things, and sometimes football can get too complicated. You know, I think Steve Claridge will bring that little bit of clarity, and you do want to impress your new manager when he's first through the door.
And Steve Claridge is fully aware. He was been on BBC Radio Solent talking about, he knows why the BBC have chose this one, because they do sense a potential upset, and Tadley Calleva have been working tirelessly. It's been a very big week for them. I think it's always fair to say it's not run-of-the-mill when the BBC cameras are there, so they've had lots of preparations, as we can see from the pitch as well. It looks superb. They've done the bits to make sure that they can pack as many fans in as possible. It's around about 2-hour travelling distance between Dorset and Hampshire, so we are expecting Weymouth supporters, a club that's followed and supported extremely well, that their fans have also made the journey across the south as well, as we're just awaiting the teams. And actually, yeah, on cue, we can see both sets of sides being led out. It is the Tadley youngsters of the under-13 age group. So this is what's a sign of the growing nature of non-league, is that they can have their younger teams as well. Many having academies and under-23 setups to feed into the first team. And it is the under-13s who are fortunate today to represent Tadley Calleva alongside their senior best of the best in what they're certainly hoping is going to be an historic day for the club. Third time they've been at this stage of the FA Cup, and they're certainly hoping for third time lucky in booking what would be a first ever appearance in the FA Cup's second qualifying round. So let's look at how both sides line up, starting with our hosts, Tadley. The two Brads, Neil and Passfield, start together for the third consecutive game. It's been back-to-back clean sheets since the two centre-halves have played in defence. I'm looking forward to see what impact Jack French has in midfield, a player I'm told who makes Tadley tick, very creative, loves getting on the ball. Youngster Emmy Camden has also impressed. He was on the score sheet for the first league win of the season, which came 5 days ago on Bank Holiday Monday, and their biggest goal threat should come from Kieran Rodgers, top scorer for the past 2 seasons. He's got 3 already this campaign. So Steve Claridge names a Weymouth side after taking just 1 training session. 18-year-old goalkeeper Ben Clark, he's on loan from Bristol City, where he has penned a professional contract. Loney defender Matty Carson, he's been recalled by Torquay, so in comes Victor Odioka to make his first start for the club. Striker Brandon Goodship, his 3rd stint for the club, 4th on their goal-scoring all-time rankings, with 100 plus already to his name. So, Danny, what's important here in terms of setting the tone in both dressing rooms? Obviously, for the underdogs, Tadley, and for Weymouth, what are you expecting for that first 5 minutes or so?
Well, I expect probably for the first 15-20 minutes of the game for it to be frantic, for both teams to, you're looking to win your individual battles. That's what's the most important thing, making sure that you win yours and your teammates are alongside you, because throughout the 90 minutes you're going to need everybody together. But then the game will settle down, and then it's about who's got the composure. When you get your chances, who can take your chances.
Our man in the middle is David Morey. He's part of the Royal Navy and their group of officials this summer. He was promoted to take charge of games at Step 3 and Step 4, so we do have a very experienced man in the middle to look to decide how this one goes. There is a potential of a replay, viewers, so if you are joining us, there's no extra time or spot kicks. If we can't decide this in 90 plus minutes, we will then head over to Weymouth next week for a replay. We do appear to be all set. The referee's happy. Players, Ruben Reid, and just tying up there, I think the size of the biceps of Sheldon right there, just checking out the opposition in close proximity. And we are underway live across the BBC, a first ever meeting between Tadley, Calleva and Weymouth. The hosts with a chance to create history and go one step further in the world's greatest domestic cup competition than they've ever been before. As for Weymouth, a chance to kickstart what has been an underwhelming start to the season, and hopefully not an early injury concern as well. Long ball it was. And it is the defender, Adiaka, who's gone up, challenged for the ball. Hopefully both players can take their time. Connor Thorne it is for Tadley. But as you mentioned, Danny, about winning your battles, both players there fully committed from the off.
Yeah, you know, it's a ploy from the very beginning. Put it on the, especially at this level, they say, you know, put it on the defenders, go up, win your first challenge. And the Weymouth lad took the full force of Connor Thorne. Yeah. You know, Connor Thorne came in with all the intention, and hopefully he's okay. He's just having his neck seen to, and but that's it. You know, you have to really impress yourself up on the opposition, and it's little things like that. Although it's not nice, and you don't want to see anybody get injured, you really don't. But the physical contact, as you're getting up from that, now you're thinking to yourself, okay, it's game on here. I know what's happening. So yeah, a good early marker there as to what kind of encounter we'll have from the beginning.
Early glimpse there of Steve Claridge, and it was actually Joe Jebi, the Weymouth centre-half, who came off looking a little groggy there. So I'm sure the medical staff have done their duties and given him the OK.
You can just see it there already. A little bit of competitive nature.
Thorne, goalkeeper, with a rusty touch there. Ben Clark immediately put under pressure.
Do players like that, the world are good as well, Tom. You know, Ben Clark's come in, he's on loan, 18 years old. You know, this is a real big moment for him as well, to be playing amongst, you know, with the BBC cameras there, to be playing amongst it.
Here come Weymouth, their first adventure forward. Hanger crosses low, not cleared. Burrows. This goes behind the fullback. Yeah, the voice there, Steve Claridge, put it in there. He wants his side to be direct. And that's well marshalled by Passfield, so it will be a Tadley goal kick.
Yes, Steve Claridge there. He knows how important it is to get the ball in the box, get it in those areas and play. You know, you can hear he wants little risk. Don't be overplaying in positions where you can lose the ball. He'll have had a look at his players over the last week and thought, right, play to our strengths, and that'll be getting it in the final third.
So first touch for the Tadley goalkeeper, Donny Burke. Helped on by Thorne. The referee does see that as a foul, so an early set-piece opportunity for the hosts.
Just see a little push, over exuberant with the challenge there from McNerney. As you say, the delivery here now is ever so important. Can you put it on the penalty spot, give somebody a chance to go and attack it well?
It was French who initially made his way over, but he's subsequently passed on the duties. Kieran Rogers it was, working deep to win the foul. It's floated, Passfield flicks it on. Not cleared, and that is a penalty. A dramatic start to this game. The referee with total conviction there, David Morey. He was in no doubt. There was loud vocal appeals. And let's have a look on the replay here, Danny.
I think you can see it's pinball in the air, but then as the defender goes flying in, his arms high up, it hits the player in the face. Just trying to work out who that is.
So it was, yeah, it was Ruben Reid who was the offender, and it was Sheldon Wright, the man for Tadley, who was deemed to have been impeded.
I don't think there's any malice in it. I think it's just a case of leading with your arm. The referee's in a perfect position to see it. Didn't disappoint with his decision.
Responsibility falls to Kieran Rogers. Experienced striker, their regular penalty taker, but what a moment for him. Likewise, 18-year-old Ben Clark in goal, who can't do anything to deny a dream start for Tadley. They got the decision, and that is emphatically tucked away 5 minutes played. Tadley Calleva 1, Weymouth 0.
We said about leaving your mark on the game early on, and great composure there from Kieran Rogers. He just goes safe down the middle, knowing full well there's a young keeper in net, he's going to dive. And 5 minutes in, Tadley Calleva, their main man who scores all the goals, puts them 1-0 up.
3 FA Cup goals in 3 FA Cup appearances this season for Tadley's number 9, Kieran Rogers. He was the man who won the free kick, which led to the incident in the penalty box, which I'm sure from a Weymouth perspective they'll debate. Certainly Ruben Reid had something to say in terms of the referee's decision, but the decision stands, and as Danny puts it out, Tadley keep their cool, and it's a fantastic start for them. How can Weymouth look to respond?
Well, I think it goes back to Steve Claridge's shout early on in the game where he's saying, you know, get it forward. That's exactly what Tadley Calleva did, kept the ball alive and got their goal. That's what he'll be looking for now from his Weymouth team, Steve Claridge.
Burrows has an option, which is ignored, and the ball's floated in towards Reid, not cleared. Burrows shoots into the turf, and it deflects over. Early chance for Weymouth to try and draw us level.
Yeah, it's Burrows as he takes that shot, he just slips, but his eyes lit up, and it's a good response initially from Weymouth. But as he takes the shot, his left foot slips and doesn't quite get the contact that he wanted, and you can see how disappointed he is.
Chance for Tadley to regroup, because they'll expect this, won't they, Danny? Obviously, fantastic start for them. But Weymouth certainly have something to go and attack now, so it's about defensively standing very strong. Yeah,
for sure. And you know, Weymouth being the team that are playing at a higher level, 2 leagues above, you know, should have, number one, the better players. They should have the organisation, and you normally find that the team lower down is full of enthusiasm and lacks slightly in those areas. However, you know, they're putting their bodies on the line, as you can see, and it's a strong contest early on.
So the hosts temporarily down to 10, pass field it was. He just has to make his way to the sidelines and sit out after receiving medical treatment for at least 30 seconds. Burke's goal kick. Thorne can't keep it in play. But it's a real test of mentality partly here, Danny, as well for Weymouth, because it's a poor start to the season. It's led to the departure of a manager, rejig in the structure. They now have an interim chairman as well, and it really tests your mettle, doesn't it, going down early doors away to lower tier opposition. It
really does. And as you can see by the way Tadley Calleva are trying to get the ball down and play, you know, their confidence grows when you get yourself an early goal and you start winning individual battles. As a team, your confidence grows, and as you say, with Weymouth, it's now about, okay, how do we do the basics right? How do we get the ball down? Know full well we're most likely to be the fitter team, we're most likely to have the better players, but can we craft it out ourselves?
Neil's throw. Cleared. Burrows is able to pick it up though in the pocket. Hanger. Wright's trying to track back. Reid with the step over. Cleared. No nonsense stuff from the captain, Jordan Goten.
No, he does the right thing. Clear, regroup. But a few passes put together there from Weymouth. Hanger flying up the right-hand side. You can see some, you know, it's not often you see 2 playing up front together, Ruben Reid and Goodship trying to link up.
Needless foul there from Andy Robinson, experienced member of the Weymouth setup, recalled to the starting 11 by the new boss Steve Claridge. And from a Tadley perspective, Danny, you know, it's too early, it's far too early to sit back, but how much of a benefit is it they know that they're a goal to the good in terms of helping relax and maybe, if we haven't seen it already, reflect the game playing style that they want to play?
Well, I think the longer the game goes and you don't score, it puts a doubt in your mind as to whether you can score or how you're going to do it. But because they've got the early goal, they've now got that belief that they can score and go ahead and have a huge impact on this game. So from a belief point of view, it's massive. But as you watch the ball pinball around, it needs a bit of composure, somebody to settle it down. And that's what Steve Claridge will be hoping his Weymouth team can do to get back into it.
Which is Cross, certainly one of the more experienced members of that Weymouth outfit. He's actually the only one who will have recollection of that run to the first round proper 3 years ago. And if you are just joining us live across the BBC Sport website, BBC iPlayer, the shock is on. Tadley Calleva have an early goal scored in the 6th minute from the penalty spot. And Steve Claridge is visiting Weymouth with an uphill task to try and preserve their status in this year's FA Cup.
It's interesting to see, even at this level, goalkeeper not just playing it forward, trying to play out from the back with Tadley Calleva.
Both sides are trying to get a bit more of a passing game going, but it's just so competitive that we are struggling to see structured football. But it just needs to be effective, and certainly from a Tadley perspective, maximise the set piece and have what they would have dreamt about, basically, was immediately applying all the pressure on the visiting opposition.
I think you can see, as we spoke about early on in the game, the frantic nature of the first 15-20 minutes.
Right, takes over from Thorne. Kamuski. Ball down the line. And the cross is a good one, but no one made the gamble at the near post, and it's comfortably gathered by Ben Clark.
Does ever so well there, Kieran Rodgers. Spins in behind, has the composure to know what's in the middle, drills it across. And I think he'd have been hoping that he was on the end of that one, because the run he probably would have made would be across the goalkeeper, which all good forwards make.
Here come Weymouth. Was that a shove from behind? So that's the suggestion.
Definite foul.
Play continues. Camden continues his run down the flank, followed by Robinson. Robinson's got a huge chunk of his shirt there, but the decision does go Weymouth's way.
You're always taught never to put your hands on a defender there, because they're waiting to go down. And he did ever so well. The Weymouth centre-back to get his way out, just waiting for the foul, and it came. Took the pressure off the situation.
Free kick to Weymouth. Burrows is the target. Passfield gets there, makes it difficult. Reed, excellent improvisation. Burrows wants to be one-on-one. That's the experience of Jordan Gota, their 7th season in Tadley colours. Spoke to the manager in the build-up. He certainly sets an example in terms of how combative he is. Versatile defender.
Weymouth will be looking to the likes of Ruben Reid to bring, his experience and quality. Having just signed him in the summer, he's one who I've known for a long time. He's been around the block from Plymouth and Rotherham, and been at many clubs and always put a shift in. So they'll be looking for that experience to get them back into the game.
Yeah, 119 EFL goals to his name. Ruben Reid made the switch from Weston-super-Mare. Burrows does get the decision from the assistant. It was a guilty look there from Sheldon Wright. Pretty much as good as a corner. But set pieces, Danny, at whatever level of the game, huge potential opportunities to certainly trouble and work the goalkeeper.
Yeah, massive opportunity, and Sheldon Wright doesn't need to go in for that. He's going nowhere. Just put your hand on his back and don't let him go. Don't let him turn. He's giving him an opportunity now to get the ball into the box, and I think it's Jake McCarthy that's going to take this one.
Right-footed, outswinger, goes low. Well, Wright did his job, but it is a corner, which he's just shifted the ball just a yard or so further down.
Notably, he's been taken off it after that free kick. It's been given to Matt Burrows.
Ball sent in, it's a good delivery, but it's a fine defensive header inside his own 6-yard box there. Crossing opportunity once again.
Two good deliveries from Burrows.
Robinson, did he think about the strike there? Good chip. Right, half clears. Rogers doing the hard work off the ball. Doesn't want to take any risks, and it goes straight through to his opposite number. And as we would expect, Danny, Weymouth starting to impose himself on the game now.
Yeah, that's right, and it does settle down. Pressing, cutting off the angles, you can see Reed here, and he'll make it more and more difficult. That's where you need, if you're a Tadley Calleva player, you need courage to get on the ball and play. But yeah, you're likely to see Weymouth dominate more of the ball.
It's been a poor start to the season for Weymouth. Tadley have had an interrupted opening few games. That's due to their success in the FA Cup and the Hampshire Cup as well. They're second from bottom in the division, but it's no real reflection of what their current level is. And as we're seeing already here this afternoon, they're a side that are happy to punch above their weight. Thorne gets there first, ahead of Goodship. And it's just that great visuals of non-league football where the crowd are literally on your shoulder.
I love that. I did love that. When I went to play at Salford, he played in big stadiums, but it was really, being close and connected to the fans. You hear everything they say. You can have that little bit of banter back with them as well. It's real football.
Odiaka there with some nice feet, but it doesn't come to anything. Tadley happy to just let the clock tick. It's early stages in terms of playing for time, but there's no rush. A goal to the goods, and when history is at stake. But at some point, Danny, you can perhaps say, obviously, I don't know, the classic case of get to half-time, but a 2-goal cushion certainly would really put them in such a strong position.
Yeah, it would, and it doesn't matter how those goals come. If you can manage to get yourself 2 goals up, now it changes the mental attitude from both teams.
It's the long throw of Brad Neal, but the referee spotted an infringement, so it will be a Weymouth free kick.
You can hear Steve Claridge saying stay high. Stay high. He doesn't want them playing out from the back. He doesn't want to bring the element of risk on his team.
Pretty much seen and done it at all levels. Steve Claridge throughout the English football pyramids. Played in an FA Cup semi-final. Wants to get back into management. He's got that opportunity with Weymouth, and for him, he's going to, as you all managers do, Danny, sizing up players, isn't he? And not say that he wants the worst case scenario here, but he'll really start to get to know his playing personnel very quickly in terms of the competitive nature of them, given the current scoreline and what's at stake.
Yeah, for sure, you can see who, they say in football, who you'd have in the trenches with you, and that's what he'll be looking at. Who's willing to roll their sleeves up, do the ugly side of the game, but also have the courage to go and play.
It was Robinson who helped it on, and it's opened a ball again for Tadley. And that's a fine stop there. Rogers converted from the spot, but from much closer range this time, it was the feet of Ben Clark.
It's a big chance, really is. And as he's running through, I'm thinking, is somebody going to bring him down? He managed to evade that. But you're then looking for the heroics from your goalkeeper. An 18-year-old Ben Clark stands strong, gets his angles right, and doesn't get beaten at his near post, saves it with his feet. It's excellent goalkeeping.
Tadley's captain, Jordan Goethe, heads over to take the corner.
Seems that these are good opportunities for Tadley.
Goes deep. Comes to no avail, but Isai's header. Again, I suppose it's always that intent, isn't it, that when they have up, you always need to look dangerous as well, because you don't want to be a case of, we've got a goal, everyone back behind the ball. You need to constantly remind Weymouth of the threat that you have going the other way.
100%, it just keeps you on your toes, and if you don't have that threat, you know, Weymouth get further forward, and you invite pressure, and eventually you break, so it's important.
Passfield again wins the header. Robinson. Reed brings a bit more control to proceedings, and being forced into the mistake here, Weymouth.
I think sometimes a question of how long can Tadley keep up this level of press as well, because they're pressing really well. They're getting behind the ball really well, making it difficult for Weymouth to get through. But it's a very physically difficult task.
Reed. Good strength. It's a nice spot to find Burrows. He's got little room to manoeuvre there, and it takes a triple Tadley team to prevent the winger from gaining any further inroads.
Jordan Goethe there having none of it. Got his arm up, pushed him out. And Burrows felt a little bit aggrieved, but game on.
Well, there's no doubting Tadley are more than up for this. They're the ones with more efforts on target so far. Goodship is fouled by Thorne. I think he'll be okay, just helping ensure that they do get the decision.
I think every time Weymouth get the ball, Tadley are pressing so well that it's difficult for him to gain composure. It's difficult for Weymouth to make the pitch big. If you look here, he's taken a touch, and before you know it, somebody's on him. Yes, he's caught him slightly late, and there's no malice in that either, but it's got to really tighten up your game when people are pressing you like this.
Free kick to Weymouth. We're hearing, Steve Claridge asking for more directness. You don't get more direct than that, and that's a great defensive header, but Goodship sends it back in. Falls to the Weymouth number 10. Robinson has options. Create the room. Thorne. An absolute stunning strike from Tom Bearwish. Weymouth needed someone to step up, and it's their number 8 with a peach of a drive. Caught the goalkeeper flat-footed. We are all square. Tadley won, Weymouth won.
Well, we said it, they were pressing so well, Tadley, and you see it here. They get the ball away, but Weymouth recycle it really well. And as it comes to Bearwish, he just evades the tackle. They're closing down ever so well, but he shifts it, gets rid of the tackle, and it's an unbelievable strike. Really top-notch strike from Tom Bearwish. Gets his side level.
And I think we have to credit the referee there, because there was arguably a foul literally a second or two before he unleashed that strike. But this is non-league football. They perhaps arguably let a lot more go than you'll see in the professional ranks, and that is to Weymouth's advantage. And here is their goal scorer.
Yeah, I think you're right. Had he pulled it back and not had the opportunity to shoot, he'd have felt a little bit aggrieved. He played the advantage well, the referee.
I think there's a lot of messaging sent there by Bearwish's lack of a celebration as well, wasn't it? It's like, we should be, we shouldn't be losing. This is what's expected of us. Come on, boys, we've got to step up.
And that's right. But, you should celebrate when you strike a ball like that. It should feel good. You should show it.
That's his first goal of the season, Tom Berwish. Hanger in amongst the local supporters with the throw. Helped on, not cleared, good chip. On his right, good disguise there. French takes over, doesn't want to hoof it clear, playing out. Risky business, and it's Robinson now with Weymouth.
Just looking for a pass upfield then. The Tadley fullback, what he was looking for was Rogers to come to feet and secure it, but he came too deep.
McNeely going crossfields. Good chip, unable to keep the ball in play. But we've seen how Weymouth can respond to going a goal down. Certainly from a Tadley perspective, they can't let their heads drop. Great start, and I think they would have expected, I don't know if they would come in as they're expecting a clean sheet, they would have expected pressure, they would have expected their goalkeeper to be busy. It is honours even here, live on BBC Sport, BBC iPlayer.
It's a hell of a throw.
Now there's Brad Neal, one of two brothers in the Tadley matchday squads. And that is a weapon that they can look to draw on, the long throw, but they're going to have to defend here. Well, they managed to turn the ball back over. And space for Thorne. Rogers has made a run. It's cut out, appeals for handball. The assistant over the far side shakes his head, so it will be a Tadley throw, but given the arms we've already seen of Brad Neal on display, they'll look to maximise this opportunity.
I think this is where they've shown promise and danger from set pieces. Getting into the danger area.
Very little run up, helped on. Good flick on. Played by Clark.
Does well there, Thorne, for Tadley, just to stop the kick initially.
And almost an assist there from Ben Clark. Spotted the run of Reed.
I'm not sure Reed shouldn't have gone for that. I felt that it was there for him to go for.
Burke. Kamuski. Looking for Thorne. Does really well, the Tadley number 7. And gets decision, does he? No, it's gone to Weymouth. And he stayed down. Indicating a knock to the heads. So we're approaching half an hour almost gone. Danny, what have you made from both outfits here?
No, obviously they've had a bright start, Tadley, without a lot of threat going forward. They've had enough chances, but you expect Weymouth to be the ones who come into the game more and more. I feel that if Tadley had taken that second chance with Rogers, then we'd be looking at a different story, but you know, at the moment it's all Weymouth.
As we hear so often throughout football, the games are decided in both boxes. It's from the penalty spot for Tadley. Certainly 20-yard plus strike, edge of the box from Tom Berwish, which levelled things up.
Come and get it, mate. Come and get it.
Busy weekend of FA Cup fixtures. You can stay across them all on the BBC Sport website and app. 111 ties played throughout Friday through to Sunday. And the second qualifying round draw takes place at 1 PM on Monday. And currently, Tadley and Weymouth, their names are in the hat.
It's interesting, if you're part of the Tadley team now, you're out on the pitch and thinking, okay, how can we create opportunities and get up the field, because you are feeling the pressure. They're closing down ever so well, they're doing the dirty work well, but you need to get in areas that can hurt Weymouth, yeah.
There we go.
I get it right.
Jeby's clearance clears the stands, and the referee, with another classic sign of non-league, just indicates that we need a new ball. no multi-ball system. They're very precious. And I don't mean this in any patronising sense, but the revenue generated today for both clubs as well can be hugely significant when it comes to commercial opportunities, fan engagement, recruitment of players, preserving the playing surface, which we have to credit the Tadley ground staff. It's not a 4G pitch, grass, which takes a good deal of maintenance. Certainly as we head into the autumn and winter, it becomes more and more of a challenge. Neil's throw. Helped on, doubly claimed. That is the voice of Steve Claridge that you can hear being picked up on the BBC microphones. Constantly demanding more from Weymouth. And their goal scorer, Tom Bearwish, following his manager's instructions.
I think when you're looking at Ben Clark, he's had it in his hands a few times, the Weymouth goalkeeper, and he's got a great kick on him. But what he's doing is kicking it too straight, which isn't really giving much of a chance to the likes of Ruben Reid and Goodship when they're trying to get on the ball. He's just got to put a bit of angle on it into the corners.
Hanger. Let's throw towards Reid. Neil clears. Close to the BBC cameras there. Right header.
I do like some of the shouts I'm hearing from the side. It's amusing. Hook, hook, get it in the box, get it in the mixer.
Well, I guess this is the beauty, Danny. You know, you've played football at the very highest level here in England, and obviously down at non-league level as well. In big stadiums, obviously managerial instructions can sometimes get lost and needs players to relay messages. You're in no doubt, certainly from a Weymouth perspective, exactly what Steve Claridge wants here today.
What you can't do as a player is blank your manager, because you can hear, like you say, you can hear everything. When you're playing higher up, you can give it the deaf ears if you're not hearing it, but no, there's no danger of that here.
Oriaka finds Goodship.
This is where you just see Weymouth trying to play a little bit now, where they can.
And changing conditions as well in Hampshire as a bit of rain sweeps in.
Go on in!
Right, looks to roll his man. Good strength. Able to bully Hanger there. Referee's played the advantage and then does pull it back for that infringement. But really positive stuff there from Sheldon Wright.
It was, yeah, because there was a point where he wasn't anywhere near favourite. He got there, used his body well, and managed to win the ball. As you say, the referee's done well, played the advantage, but pulled it back.
I'm not sure if Hanger's aware that Sheldon Wright, an amateur boxer, in addition to his football prowess as well, and certainly that shoulder to shoulder, it was the Tadley man. The great display of strength and also the trickery as well to keep hold of the ball. Cute little pass around the corner results in a set piece. Looks as though Gota's moving away from this one, so it will be French to take. Middle clear. Camden's ball. Goalkeeper thought about coming. The assistant's flag is raised for offside.
I feel that's a wasted opportunity there. As he stands ready to take the free kick, he's got to be bold, and he half clips it into an area that he's hoping somebody gets their head on. But he's got to go with good pace. You know, for me, either take a shot, test the young goalkeeper, or put it across the goalkeeper's eye line so somebody can go and glance it. But it felt like it just was nothing. It was in an in-between kind of effort.
It's not a day for what-ifs from a Tadley perspective. They have had opportunities, whether it's set pieces or, as we're seeing to full effect, Brad Neal's long throws. But you could argue Weymouth a bit more clinical. A few chances, and a really difficult one it was that the goal came from, but they're able to show their quality. Hanger just getting in amongst the supporters to get as much room as possible. It's a good flick on as well from Jebi, but No one there in and around the 6-yard box from a Weymouth perspective.
I think that both sides have got their head on it when they've had a long throw and put it in the box. They've been the first to it, but the second ball's the one that they've not managed to get to.
Not much talked about second contact, isn't it?
Exactly, it's important. I'm just watching that little battle there with Matt Burrows and Jordan Goter. And every chance he gets, Jordan Goter, he gives Burrows a nudge, makes him uncomfortable.
Thorne lets it run. Camden, flag stayed down. Emmy Camden played to the whistle, and his body language suggests that he arguably should have done better there.
Yeah, I think he's half surprised it's come through. It's superb play from Connor Thorne because he just lets the ball go. And then it's a case of have you got the composure? You see it here. Connor Thorne just stands still, does nothing. Camden has to go across the keeper. He gets a good enough strike, but disappointed he's not done more.
Weymouth not happy there. They felt as though it was offsides. No VAR, thankfully. So we're not going to have any of that. Pulling things back and drawing lines. It is a Tadley corner. On the tin. Oh! Tadley's main man once again with a sucker punch. They've weathered the storm. They were pegged back, but they haven't let their heads dip, and it's Kieran Rogers on the score sheet once again. Well, you could argue it's easy from the penalty spot. What about this for strikers played down? He back to goal, knows exactly the goals don't move.
Super. We spoke about getting the second contact. First contact's there, and he's the first to it. He's alive. His first touch is absolutely outstanding. It sets him on the side to be able to take his shot away, and he does. He knows where the goal is. He tucks it in the far corner, and it's a superb goal from their danger man, Kieran Rogers.
Kieran Rogers. This is, I want to say, one of the, I don't think I could say a manager's favourite, but it's the third different club, Tadley, that Joe Lawler has brought Kieran Rogers to. And is he writing himself into local folklore? Still a long way to go, but we talked about the challenge to Weymouth. Well, how can they respond from going a goal down against lower tier opposition? Well, Tadley have shown they're here for the fight because they were pegged back, they kept playing, and they find the noses in front once again.
Yeah, and it's over to you, Weymouth. What can you do? Can you respond in the same manner? I mean, I felt they'd had the better of the ball, but when you've got Kieran Rogers up front who can do little moments like that, and he knows where the goal is, you've always got a chance to go ahead, and that's superb from them.
That's it. Ambitious strike, which for the first time this afternoon we do hear the faint ripple of Weymouth supporters, but it was nestling in the side netting.
Yeah, from this angle it looked as if it just nestled in at the near post. But again, Weymouth responding, trying to make something happen.
I think it certainly is a case from Tadley now to just, they need this score to stay the same heading into the break. Just get to the break.
I feel they've gained a lot of confidence from the way they've attacked in the final third. If you think Rogers had a chance saved by young Ben Clark early on. He scored 2 goals. They've had a chance also from Camden, so they can create. They're not having all of the ball, but when it comes to it, to get in the final third, they've been a little bit more clinical than Weymouth, in fairness.
And I think that's what Steve Clouds will perhaps be most disappointed about, is that they haven't worked Donny Burke anywhere near enough, and this is perhaps another example of that. Set piece opportunity, or another young goalkeeper who's certainly working his way through in terms of gaining experience, and couldn't do anything about the goal, but other than that he's not really been significantly tested so far.
Oh, he hasn't. And when you think that Weymouth have had the ball around his box quite a lot and crosses have been coming in, if you are Steve Claridge, you're saying to your forwards, listen, I need more from you. I need you to be the first to the second balls, like Kieran Rogers has been for the opposition.
Camden applying the pressure on McNerney. Clark. Reeds, I was about to say, good strength for the referee. And I think as this, you know, he's an experienced player, isn't he, Ruben Reed? But if he's playing in League One, League Two, he maybe gets that decision. Non-league, no chance.
The same rules don't apply. You know, it's slightly different. And what you find as well is you get more frustrated when it's not going your way, and then you know you're not losing or you're not getting chances as a forward. And you know, you'd expect Ruben Reed to have that level of composure in his head and really help his teammates. He's battling up there, but it's just not turning into danger.
Once again, Brad Neal. If you're wondering about these arms, he is also a cricketer as well, which I'm sure helps. Almost a sensational attempt there from Connor Thorne.
He ran back with a wry smile on his face.
I think people who perhaps know him well maybe perhaps question his athleticism to maybe even attempt that, if I'm reading between the lines.
Potentially. But again, he gets first and second contact on the ball. The winning the headers, the flick on, and you know, the ever important second contact was theirs again.
Burrows challenging. I don't think either man got anything on the ball there, so Gota's happy to see a few more seconds tick by.
Burrows is not having an easy time of it down that side at the moment. Physically, they've given him a tough time.
Gota with the miscue. Watched all the way by Neal. Helped on by Thorne. Odiaka put his teammate under pressure there. The assistant's flag raised for offside.
Yeah, but you see how they swarm the moment the ball goes to, on that occasion it was Odiaka. They swarm around him, then the ball goes into McNerney, he plays it into midfield and makes a mistake. And it's that pressure when you're pressing up high and you do it with intent, how you can make the opposition make mistakes.
There has been a huge buzz in and around Tadley. It's only a small village, and they're seeing their first team potentially creating national headlines here. Weymouth, higher tier opposition. As we know in football, on paper, better players. But what we love about the FA Cup is year on in, year on out, from the extra preliminary stages right through to first round proper, the third round draw, when the Premier League big boys come in as well. We see upsets aplenty, and we're almost halfway to what would be a bit of giant killing here.
I think you see a real cohesion in the Tadley team. They're pressing together, they're working for each other.
Camden wins the ball. Thorne, good first touch. Options left and right. Wants to go alone. Also wants a free kick. I don't think he's going to get it. Gota. Camden. Young Player of the Year last year for Tadley. Good composure and nice link-up. Fairwish closed down the space. Burrows couldn't quite get it out from underneath his feet, but it is a Weymouth throw.
Just look at, even when Tadley lose the ball, you know, they're really in a good spirit, because when they lose the ball, they go, they press, they're not allowing Weymouth to settle on it. Yeah, just pressing, see, not allowing them any minutes, any seconds on the ball, and it's a superb touch.
It is. Rogers on a hat-trick. Right. Behind Camden. Reed having to come awfully deep to try and make an impact on the game, and the referee's not happy there.
It's a necessary foul. If you're Tadley right now, you don't allow Ruben Reed to turn and run at your defence. It's a necessary foul that he made. One of a few, but an important one just before half-time.
Connor Thorne, the first Tadley player to go into the referee's notebook. The 45th minute, so seconds plus whatever stoppage time. Hanger. Shimmies away from right. Burrows. Excellent feet.
Every time.
I'll let you decide at home. That one looked a bit split. I think you can see that decision going either way, but as you can see from the action, play does continue.
You have to understand the game you're playing in, understand what fouls you're going to win and what you're not, and understand that quickly in the game. And the referee's set his tone, he's allowed a lot to happen.
30 seconds into a minimum of 3 minutes of first half stoppage time, and it looked as though Yoka had glided past his man there, but ran out of pitch. Neil.
If you're Steve Claridge, you're thinking to yourself now, okay, what do I say to these men I don't know well enough how to motivate them? What do I say that collectively gives them confidence to go out and deliver a performance in the second half that can go on to win the game?
Is it quite a hairdryer sort of job at half-time from a Weymouth perspective?
I think there's got to be an element of that, you know, but you've got to know which characters to aim it at, you know, to get most impact from your team. So I think that, and also an arm around the shoulders, like, okay, we're going through, we're not doing well as a team at this moment. There's been a lot of turmoil this week. I need you alongside me, we're in this together kind of thing, and you need everybody's collective buy-in.
A bit of gamesmanship from Tadley. They needed another ball and someone immediately punted it down to the far left corner flag. Trying to eat into a few more seconds, but as we can see, it's such a threat from the long throw. French, not the cleanest header, but he's able to get there, send a ball in, and Rogers certainly had gambled, and he acknowledges the delivery.
Yeah, he's always there, he's always on the shoulder. He's a pain for the defenders because he gets in between them, doesn't allow himself to be marked. And if the delivery is better on that occasion, he's in.
Hanger. Reed. Yet to have a sight of goal yet, Ruben Reed. Hanger. Sees his cross sail behind the goal, and also, I'm sure, hearing the full brunt of feedback, if we can call it that, from the Tadley supporters about how things are going so far for Weymouth.
I think that sums up the last sort of 10 minutes for Weymouth. They had control in the mid-section of the first half, but that bobble up there, as he's tried to wrap his foot around it, not his fault, can't do anything about it, but it's just not going your way for this moment in time.
2 tiers of non-league football separate these two sides, but just a goal difference. As we played the minimum 3, so at the referee's discretion. There's going to be time for Tadley to take the throw. The referee wants to pull it back. Maybe is the suggestion is that he's given a free kick there, or either way, Tadley, as you can see there, in no hurry. It is a throw, which the captain will take. Jordan Gota here, with what he certainly hopes will be the last act of the first half. Good shift. Is there enough time for a counter? No, there's not. Well, we floated the possibility of a bit of giant killing, and thanks to a brace from that man in the centre of your picture, Kieran Rogers, the opener from the penalty spot, Weymouth were able to equalise, but that fox in the box, their number 9, restored the advantage. It means Danny Webber at half-time, Tadley Calleva 2, Weymouth 1.
Yeah, and you'd got to say it's well earned from Tadley Calleva. And, you know, Weymouth had some of the better passing movements outside the box, but Tadley Calleva, they've looked a threat. And that man, as you say, Kieran Rogers, when he's had his opportunities, he's he's not disappointed at all. So fair play. You go inside now and reshape and make sure that you come out, if you're Tadley, with the same mentality.
Just the centre of his picture there, just looking over his shoulder, that's Steve Claridge, and we talked about Danny, whether or not a hairdryer was needed. Well, I think it's fair to say some stern words will be shared from the Weymouth manager in terms of feedback. Newly appointed on Thursday and already under the pump. After Joe Lawler, who's there just on the right of that trio. He is, well, I'm not saying it's an easy one, Danny, but they would have planned and prepared, and so far his players are executing to a very high standard.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, the way they're pressing, there's such intent, and then delivering, not complicating it, delivering it in behind for Rodgers, Thorne and Sheldon Wright, who have been bright up front as well. So listen, he can be happy with what he's seen so far, but he'll want that intensity to maintain.
So let's look back through those major incidents of the first half, starting with the set piece, which led to this being deemed a penalty. Danny, your view on having seen just a couple of replays of it?
Yeah, I feel that it's definitely easy to give. He's leading with the arm, and then the referee's in a good position, so there was not much argument about that. But the penalty was tucked away nicely, and the main man, Kieran Rodgers, it's what you'd expect from him.
Well, we questioned whether or not Weymouth were able to respond. Well, this was a close effort, but should he do better?
I feel that his technique's right, he's taken the right choice, but he slips as he hits it, and it's unfortunate that he can't get the contact.
And this was another opportunity at 1-0 for Kieran Rodgers.
I feel of all his chances, that was the easiest one. I really do. I feel the keeper's got his angles right, but it was the easiest one. But this goal is absolutely fantastic from Tom Bearwish. He evades the challenge and just beautifully strikes it in the only place that the keeper couldn't get it.
Giving the referee an assist for that one, because there was a significant tug back. But what about this for a response from Tadley? Difficult chance here.
It is, but it ultimately leads to the goal. It's Camden. Gets his shot away, he's disappointed, but then, as I say, it leads to this goal. Young Kieran Rodgers, well, he may not be young, but Kieran Rodgers, great feet, getting onto the ball as the header drops down and doing what all good strikers do, calmness and finishing it off.
And Weymouth have kept it competitive, even though there'll be some stern words. It's not as though they haven't been in this game at times.
No, they've responded well, and this is a good opportunity there, good strike. The Weymouth fans thought the ball had gone in, but they respond immediately. They just need to put it in the back of the net.
Neil's long throw's been a major part of this first half.
It has, and I think that's probably where Tadley have had the edge. They've got the first contact, they got the second contact there in Connor Thorne, who tried an acrobatic effort.
So let's have a look back. Obviously half-time here, 2-1. Let's look at Friday night's fixtures. 3 games done and dusted already. The all Step 3 Isthmian Premier tie saw Aveley 3-0 winners over #United. They reached the first round proper back in 1970, so they're a step closer. As for Faversham and Hastings, that's also an all Isthmian South East Division tie. Couldn't be separated as it finished 2-2, so a replay will be needed, and arguably the shock of the round so far came as Pickering Town, Step 5 tier sides, they beat Redcar Athletic of Step 4 5-2. Pickering through to the second qualifying round for the first time in 21 years. So it's a busy weekend of football across the BBC. Today, once we're done and dusted, stay tuned for Kelly Summers, Stephen Warnock, the final score team, which is live on BBC Red Button from 2:45. Match of the day, Mark Chapman, Danny Murphy, Steph Horton, live on BBC One from 10:20. Moving on into tomorrow, as we already know, the Women's Rugby World Cup is up and running. Ireland v Spain, 11:45 on BBC Two. Scottish Women's Premier League action gets underway just before 4 p.m. Rangers against Motherwell, that's live on BBC iPlayer. And to end your weekend with some Sunday night baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers against the Toronto Blue Jays. Coverage starts at 6:25 on BBC iPlayer. So we're going to give our voices a rest, and we'll look forward to joining you in the second half.
The WSL is back.
Are we all ready?
New season, new faces.
Oh, game on. Girls, we're doing this right.
Let's turn it on.
She smashed that ball in.
Like that.
All the drama, the pride, the bragging rights.
It's what everybody's talking about.
There'll be a lot of analysis. I am so in. It's football.
The Women's Super League, 6th of September, live on BBC iPlayer.
We've had injuries. And in between everything, we've had some half-decent cricket. I think, why can't we do this again? With 2 or 3 different places, all at the same time. What could possibly go wrong? You just got to prove it works.
Freddie Flintoff's Field of Dreams Ultimate Test. Watch now on BBC iPlayer.
I went through the worst year of my life because I couldn't box. But I'm back.
He owes it to everybody around him to show what he's made of.
That's the big thing about being Fury. We'll fight until our last breath.
Tommy, the good, the bad, the Fury. This summer on BBC Three and iPlayer.
Another season of ups, downs and everything in between.
Does it feel a little bit different this season?
Here we go again.
All the action.
You want to have your say.
And the reaction.
There's lots of talk on social media.
Goals dissected.
Got to do this, got to do that.
Interesting debate.
Fans connected.
A lot of match of the day.
Who's going to win it?
What do you think?
They've all got a chance.
Like never before.
209 live games on 5 Live.
Keep your discipline.
How about that?
Entertainment.
It's what everybody's talking about. Football on the BBC.
Oh, for goodness sake, Len, just move on!
Yeah. Josie's getting married. I'm going to have a panic attack.
Get off my high horse!
Are we ready? Let's go have the happiest day of our lives, shall we?
Brilliant. This is crazy. It was great fun, actually.
I love that.
That could not have gone better to me.
Laugh stressful days away with comedy on BBC iPlayer.
You've got to come back with me.
Where do you think you're going?
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Whoa, this is heavy.
I love a good story.
Thanks, God!
Hold on tight, because this is going to be quite a ride.
Visit new worlds with family adventures on BBC iPlayer.
13 strangers on the adventure of a lifetime.
Look at that view.
Literally breathtaking.
All they and you have to do is answer one question.
Where the X am I? They absolutely lied to me.
Fight to the end.
This game is brutal.
Destination X. Watch all episodes on BBC iPlayer.
So welcome back to live FA Cup action across BBC Sports. A competition that continues to provide lifelong memories, is currently doing its job. Those men currently on screen are from Tadley, Calleva, and they are 2-1 up against higher tier Weymouth. A very eventful first half, if you are just joining us, which saw Tadley take the lead twice. That's their manager there, Joe Lawler, with a few words of instructions for his main man, who's currently on for a hat-trick. And what a memory that could be if he could top off the afternoon for a hat-trick. I'm Tom Gale, I'm alongside Danny Webber, and I guess the key thing from a Tadley perspective is they can't take it for granted. 2-1 up, but Weymouth has shown their quality when opportunity has presented itself. Yeah, for sure. I mean, they've got to come out with the same enthusiasm, the same vigour, and the same sort of killer instinct when they're in the final third. Make sure that Kieran Rodgers can stay on for the whole game. And the opposite for this man here, Steve Claridge, he'll need more in the box from his players. And, you know, ultimately, his team talk would have most likely been, come on, lads, we need more. You know, and how can we galvanise? You know, you've got 15 minutes to galvanise a team, and hopefully his words, from his point of view, will have done merit, and he'll see that early on now. Weymouth legends, part of their Hall of Fame, a man who scored close to 400 professional goals, back in management after a 2-year break, very hungry for this opportunity at Weymouth, and a test for both him and his playing personnel of how they can respond with the BBC cameras very much focusing the attention on a bit of giant killing here. What have we got in store for you in the second half? It is going to be Weymouth and their goal scorer, Tom Bearwish, who gets us underway. No changes made by either manager during the interval. Passfield and French helping defend that first long ball. Camden. French. Goes Crossfield. Thorne doesn't quite have the legs. That was one of those balls where you feel like you're going to get there, and then you think you're not, and then you think you are, but you're already in the motion, so you've got to go all the way through with it. But good intent again from Tadley Calleva early on, win the ball, composure to pass it out wide. A willing runner again in Connor Thorne. Clark. Passfield. Lovely turn from right. Camden with the drag back, and he was caught by McNerney. Come out bright, Tadley. They really have. If you're the experienced and arguably better technical player, Danny, in this situation, if you're in the Weymouth outfit, what's key in terms of just moving the ball around, just trying to, I don't know, just raise the skill level slightly in order to try and create opportunities? I think they're not threatening him behind at all, so they're really easy to mark. Everything's to feet or out wide, but they're not threatening him behind. With uncertainty, ball not cleared. Falls to right, does it? He almost had a second bite at it there. Couple of ricochets. And Ben Clark able to gather it in the end. If you just look, it's the threat in behind is really valuable as a forward players, and I feel that Ruben Reid, when he's coming to feet, it needs a Brandon Goodship or a Matt Burrows to run in behind, or the opposite way. You know, it's really important. This is the chance here. First contact, the ball's bouncing around in the box, and it's a good effort. Ben Clark almost losing it at full stretch, but gathering in second attempt. I think it came off his own man there, Bearwish it was, who was tracking back with the final touch before it was gathered by the goalkeeper. He spoke about that press, Danny, and I guess the question is, it's a very intense game plan here from Joe Lawler, as how long they can keep this up. Yeah, for sure, because fitness levels will drop. You know, you can't continue this for 90 minutes, so that's why if they get themselves another goal, it's really important. Bearish. Right, chance to make it 3! And he's fluffed his lines there, a shake of the heads. Well, I spoke to his manager in the build-up and he challenged the winger to score more goals this season. He's got 2 to his name already. And Danny, should he have made it 3 there?
100%.
Well, they've taken the corner quickly. Forced to Wright, who goes down. Big appeals. It was Sheldon Wright who was involved in the penalty decision early on, and he's once again at the thick of the action. French, his cross. Oh! The centre-half, Neil, will not want to see that one back.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's a couple of chances within the space of a few minutes, but this one, first and foremost, the opportunity for Sheldon Wright. He's got to carry on his left foot and get across the defender and then hit it, but the fact he comes in on his right gives the defender the opportunity to come and close it. But then as the ball recycles, it's a superb opportunity. You stood 6 yards out, nobody opposing you, and Brad Neal puts it high and very, very high and over the bar. But that's a great opportunity there for Tadley Calleva to go 3-1 up.
Continue to create. Tadley Calleva of the combined counties, Premier Division South. Spoke to their manager and he said playoffs were a must this season, and it looks as though, as it stands, they're going to have to combine that with a good cup run, Danny.
Yeah, for sure. But the pressure that they are putting on Weymouth at this moment in time is huge. It really is, and Weymouth don't have the answers. They need to gather their thoughts, gain some composure, and start providing an attacking threat.
Clark. Neil's had it. He was the man with that big chance just moments ago. Right. Gota, no one in yellow anywhere near.
I just feel like Tadley are doing the basics better, winning challenges, you know, getting the ball in the final third, just doing the basics better than the opposition.
Apologies if anyone is able to detect any offensive language that's been picked up by our microphones. They are in very close proximity. And Tadley are in again, right! How has he not made it 3? Camden. Will these moments come back to haunt Sheldon Wright?
Quite possibly. Big moments. I mean, it's a great first touch initially. Kieran Rogers takes the ball out the sky, but from that moment, Sheldon Wright takes control and he has to score. He really does have to score.
From a defensive point of view, it's just too easy for Tadley. Just a long ball and they're in.
It feels like Weymouth have come out with one less player in the second half. It's, you know, it's been all Tadley.
Burrows trying to take on Gota. Gets his body across. It's a good duel, that one.
Yeah, I think Jordan Gota has been dominating, but if you look at this chance, it's a straight ball, but the touch here from Rogers is outstanding. At that point, you've just got to finish. You're unopposed. Keeper does well to narrow down the angle, but you still have to finish it.
You know, as a striker, as soon as that ball's bounced, the defenders are on the heels.
And I guarantee you it's still playing in his mind now.
Yeah. But he's there. You have to, I suppose all managers say they want players to be in the situation rather than moaning that they haven't found themselves in those effective positions.
100%. And he's been effective, he has, Sheldon Wright. It's just the key moments that you don't want to regret at the end of the game. Because if Weymouth get back into this and end up winning the tie by any, you know, in any way, you'll remember that and it'll haunt you.
A yellow card shown to Joe Kamuski. Weymouth throw. Adiaka. Robinson comes short.
Victor!
I think that was a foul throw.
Yeah, it's a foul throw, and you can hear Steve Claridge almost saying the basics. Come on, he was saying to the keeper before, it's too straight. Saying to Victor Adiaka there, he can't foul, you know, foul throw. It's the basics you can hear him getting frustrated with.
As much as we know football's a physical game, a clear sign of the psychological elements. And young fullback, first start for the club, feeling the pressure, new manager, away game as well. And Tadley not giving an inch so far. Neil finds Rogers. Weymouth throw.
I know it's not worked in his favour there, Rogers, but that's what he's done ever so well. You know, for the size of him, he's not a tall boy, he's not got a huge frame, but what he's done is back in, secure the ball when it comes near him, and it helps his team so much.
It's the voice of Danny Webber, former striker alongside me, Tom Gale, as we're live across the BBC. And Tadley, Calleva en route to a potential upset here. What can Weymouth do to try and change the narrative? Burrows' cross, Neil's header, Camden, French, not sure where the ball was, Shebby finds the young fullback. McCarthy's been very quiet, it has to be said. You can see what he can do when he has time on the ball. Burrows goes for goal, does he? Well, either way, it was a really dangerous ball across. We need to see more from that from him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like throughout the game, Jordan Gold has had the measure of him, but that's superb. Really positive. Chops inside, goes for the first attempt, and he fizzes it across. And as you say, that's where you've got to be in there. Ruben Reid probably not expecting it because it's not been coming for the first 50-odd minutes. But more of that from Weymouth, that's what they need.
Shebby with the header, crucial, because Tadley were once again in behind there. French loses track of the ball. Here's McCarthy. Good ship. Oof. Almost an excellent move there from Weymouth. Credit to Tom Bearwish there. Started it off, followed the ball, and he met the delivery.
Yeah, it's a great save as well from Donny Burke, but I feel when Weymouth attack and Bearwish is at the heart of it, he's the one that could make something happen. He's obviously got the goal. He started that move and was on the end of it as well. It's a good run. It's a good ball in as well from Goodship. He's on the run, he heads it down, but Donny Burke equal to it.
Shebby.
Give me a chance!
Give me a chance, that's the cry from Steve Claridge. It's a frustrated Weymouth boss. He's seen him a few times saying about, you know, the straight of delivery, and I think he's just, the quality on the ball's not good enough.
Yeah, he's saying give me a chance as if he's still on the pitch. He's feeling every moment of it, Steve Claridge. And he played like that. He demanded from the people around him, and he wants that same level of thought process, endeavour and quality from his team out there.
He spoke to the Weymouth media team, and he said he's not going to ask players to do things they're not capable of. He's going to keep it very simple. There'll be no doubt in terms of what he expects. And of course, as we'd expect with a player who wore his heart on his sleeve, work rate has to be second to none. And I think it's fair to say, Danny, they've just come up against the side so far who just want it more.
Yeah, for sure. I feel that you can see the Tadley team have been with their manager for a while. They know what's expected. It's difficult for Steve Claridge in one sense because he's only been in a couple of days. So to put your team out there and have them well drilled is nigh on impossible. Whereas the Tadley team have pressed all together. They've won first and second balls on probably more occasions, and they're the basics of the game. So Steve will be frustrated that he's not had a little bit more time, but you know, you say that man for man based on the leagues that they're in, you would say they would normally have better players, but yeah, he's frustrated, you can feel it. But
can feel it.
Half an hour to go.
But a lot of credit has to go to Tadley. It's a growing project under Joe Lawler. They finished their highest ever 2 seasons ago. Very consistent in the regional, I guess the county Hampshire Cup competitions. It's a very competitive area for both of these sides when it comes to player recruitment and opportunities and what goes into those negotiations. Burrows denied by the fingertips of Donny Burke.
It's turning the screw, Weymouth. It's a great save though from Donny Burke. It's an instinctive strike, and As you say, Burrows it is with the strike. He's come alive in the last 5 minutes. It's good effort, catches it well, but superb save from Donny Burke.
Corner. Jebby trying to keep the ball moving forward, but Camden's clearance. Rogers, a little push in the back there, but play goes on. Fine touch from McNerney, but he's closed down. Trying to suffocate Weymouth here, Tadley. Just putting pressure on every time they see the opposition with the ball. Reed can't make it stick. McCarthy closes down. Falls to Goodship. On his left. Reed just questioning the delivery there, because he was free at the back post.
He was all on his own. But Weymouth, I feel, been a little bit more positive. Trying to get the ball into feet. Ruben Reed there, it bounces off him, but they're then first to it to press and recycle the ball. Lack the quality of the cross, but showing a little bit more craft in what they're doing.
Almost an hour gone. I'm sure all non-league fans will be fully aware of what this competition offers, the FA Cup, in terms of prize money. Just over £2,500 already earned by Tadley. En route to this, the first qualifying rounds, and the winners here today guaranteed just over £2,000, which can make a hell of a difference when it comes to non-league football.
We'll see what they're trying to do there, Tadley, middle of the park. I think it was Jack French.
Robinson turns into trouble. Rogers with work to do. Wasn't the best ball into him. I think that's what he's just saying there. Just needed to be quick at the pass, but the goalkeeper's giving it away. And I think French saw the bright lights there, didn't he? Went for goal.
That's right, his eyes lit up at the opportunity. Could have taken a touch.
Thorne's gone down. But once again, Tadley, you know, they're continuing to ask questions of Weymouth, forcing into rash decision-making like that.
Yeah, and it's actually a really loose throw there from the goalkeeper, Ben Clark. You know, you're young, you may get away with that at academy level, but he needs, you know, this is why he's here. It's part of his education, it's part of his growth, but, you know, it's a cup tie. You've got to tighten it up.
And it is. Joe Lawler, who is the first to look to his bench. Alex Miller and Brett Denham being readied, so definitely offensive-minded changes, so it shows that I wouldn't go as far to say as the Tadley manager's going for broke here, but he's continuing to just want to remind Weymouth that we're not done here in terms of potential goal-scoring opportunities. It's just a slight delay while these changes are being made. Obviously it was Connor Thorne for Tadley who went down receiving treatments. The manager with a pat on the back there for Sheldon Wright, who had two big opportunities in this second half. By the time that they came, not to put the tie beyond doubt, but it looks as though it's not going to be an FA Cup hat-trick for Kieran Rogers. His race has run. He makes way, and on comes like-for-like replacement, the club record goal scorer, Brett Denham. And also it was Connor Thorne who has made way, and he's replaced by Alex Miller.
I think both of those players who've gone off can be really happy with the way they've performed today. Possibly getting to the hour mark and just lacking energy. I know that feeling, where Joe Lawler's probably thinking, I need a little bit more legs in the game now.
Goat it straight away, trying to get Miller involved in the game, but just overhits the free kick. But is that sending a message, Danny, when you see the opposite, so the side that are leading, not saying we're sitting back, we're just going to refresh our front line and bring some more fresh legs on?
Yeah, it's saying, listen, we still want to score, we still want to have that impact, but it's also saying, from a Weymouth point of view, you'd look at it and think, actually are the main man's gone. You know, he's their number 9, he was their starter, he's got the goals, he's been cute in his movement, he's not on the pitch anymore, so, you know, you'd like, from their point of view, they'd like to think that the main danger's gone.
Right. Good layoff, finds French. Thought about the return. Camden. Shot, which is deflected. Isai it was, who earns the corner. Just a stretch of the calf there. That's the nickname of Sarge, because he's seen as a real authority voice in the midfield.
What you have the ability to do if you're Tadley right now and you're under pressure, just to take the sting out of it in this occasion. That's what Jordan Goulter's done. He did it at the end of the first half. He's doing it again, going over, taking your time, settling down, gives you a moment to breathe and clear your head.
Go to the captain with the in-swinger. Nearly was tugged back whilst making that clearance, so it will be a Weymouth free kick.
It's actually a really good ball in from Jordan Goulter. Puts it right on the money. Weymouth set up well enough to clear.
Time is ticking away. There is the possibility of a replay if we aren't decided in normal time here. No extra time or spot kicks today, at least. If Weymouth are able to draw themselves level and force a replay, it will need to be played before Thursday of next week. A reminder that second qualifying round draw will be made on Monday afternoon, 1 p.m. Miller is late there. Easy decision for the referee. Carthy definitely looking to gain a few extra yards there.
See the press though, the press is in real intent. And then he just thinks, I'll clip him. It's not malicious, it's just cute.
Alex Miller, one of a few players in the Tadley ranks who has had opportunities to go and play football at a higher tier, but he's happy with the project that Joe Lawler is building here in Hampshire.
There's a lot to be said for how happy you are at a football club, enjoying your day-to-day, getting the best out yourself, the environment.
Denham, can he keep that in play? He can. French with the flick. Straight to Robinson. Still plenty of time for Weymouth here. McCarthy lets it run. Adiaka. Head up. Just that final ball, just not quite there.
No,
that comes to nothing.
You're right there, Tom. It's lacking. It's lacking in quality when they get in and around the box. It's lacking in that brightness of mind and sharpness of feet. It's frustrating for Steve Claridge.
His voice that easily detectable, chuntering along on the sideline just down from our camera. He cut a frustrated figure when we saw him heading in to the half-time team talk and coming back out, had words for the assistant. But I spoke about the Tadley project, speaking to Steve Claridge as well. He's under no illusions of the job in front of him at Weymouth. Feels as though a lot needs to be changed. It can't be done overnight. And it is time for him to try and switch things up. That is the sight of Luke Cook, who's going to come on for a full-back. So Adiaka it is who makes way. And a recent signing, Luke Cook, once on the books of Sheffield Wednesday. Joined the club last Saturday, made his debut on Bank Holiday Monday. He's got just over 20 minutes to try and certainly change his manager's mind about that starting 11, Danny.
Yeah, and I think that's a positive change, and he needs to make a positive change. He brought on a centre forward. Now he's going to play 2 up top. Here's his first run.
First touch for the substitutes. Drags Neil out wide. He missed the challenge, but there was enough contact to just slow up Cook. Just get a lot there of Denham to run that channel. And he was flagged offside anyway. Cook straight into the action, Danny.
Cook straight into it with a run and a diagonal run. Didn't quite manage to get the ball out of his feet and beat the centre half, but I think Ruben Reid's needed that. Somebody closer to him, somebody to play off. They can play together.
Here is Reid. McCarthy.
Changes the dynamics for the defence as well, having to deal with 2 centre forwards.
Back to McCarthy. Goes for the low cross.
Frustration. And you're getting in those areas, and it is a good area. You've got 2 strikers. One of you's got to get across the front post in the eye line of the goalkeeper, which is where that ball went. One middle or back post. Just lacks the punch that Steve Claridge will be wanting.
Robinson just being told to retreat ever so slightly. Hands the throw-in over to Joe Jebby. Kamowski's header. Passfields. Over the top. Denham's not quite got up to speed with the flow of the game.
No,
times now he's been flagged offside.
Correct. And I feel that gives you a little bit of incentive when you've had a striker who's been making good runs and his touch has been on and he's scored a couple of goals and he's now come off the pitch. Weymouth, I feel there's less of a threat and they've got forward, but this has been a good battle, these two.
Burrows trying to use his trickery, still going. Got his body in front of the man, and Goethe, you can tell there by the way he slammed his hand down on the ground. That is a clear decision for the referee to make, and this is an opportunity here for Weymouth. And well, actually, there's a suggestion there that the hamstring has gone, so unfortunately that might be the last act for Matty Burrows here.
Yeah, he's had a battle on that far side, but he does well. He's bobbling around, but it's whoever gets the body across there first, and he does that, wins the foul. And Goethe, who's stuck to him all afternoon, giving away a foul in such an important position.
Yeah, well, I think he gave himself that 10 or 15 or so seconds, Matty Burrows, to think as though he can maybe run it off, but I'm sure you can testament to this, Danny. Once that hamstring goes, there's no coming back, is there?
No turning back at all. I mean, it can't be really bad because he's able to jog off, but it's enough that he's felt a twinge, and once you do that, you don't carry on.
So it does allow an opportunity for Steve Claridge to make an enforced change, but it is fresh impetus. And Jake McCarthy here stood over a central free kick. Has he got enough to get it up over the wall and dip? That's the question, and there's the answer.
It's disappointing. He's gone for the Cristiano Ronaldo, the way he's hit it, but it's not come down, it's kept going.
Just confirmation of that change. It was Tom Hewlett who's come on, replacing Burrows. An attacking player, Hewlett, I'm told, who struggles for game time, but very hungry, hard-working. Born and raised in Birmingham, but has been in the southwest for a long time.
I think if you're Tom Hewlett or Luke Cook, you've watched the game from the sidelines for an hour or more. You've got to be looking at the game thinking, okay, where can I make an impact? Can I come on and get my team back into it, show the manager that I want to be in the team?
Goater's free kick, met by Neil. There's an all-action centre-half, it has to be said, Brad Neil.
Probably had the best chance of the half.
Yeah.
Just as we kicked off in the second half.
And That's what we're struggling to think of Weymouth's, you know, a chance of significance in this second half so far, Danny.
For sure.
Cook looking to change things. Space for Hewlett. Cut back. Cleared by Neil. Reeds. Poor layoff. Miller was late there. The Weymouth bench not happy.
He does well. He can see it. He can see it coming. He makes the header and immediately just absorbs the impact, but knows he's won the foul for his team. You say Miller just overexcited, thinking that he could win it when he couldn't. Great position now.
Alex Miller is going to be the third Tadley player to be shown a yellow card.
This sort of ball now needs to be in between the penalty spot, whipped over the penalty spot and the goal, in between the penalty spot and the goalkeeper.
Oakley Hayes with the free kick. McNearney did his part, got something on it.
Take a chance, boys. 15, Tadley.
Burke again looking to go direct. Pushed all the way by Hangett. And again, nice touch from McCarthy. French again. On the shoulder of the defender. You can immediately see that speed in behind, Danny.
It makes a difference. It's horrible for a defender if he's coming on now and threatening you in behind every time. It's great for Weymouth, not so great for the Tadley defenders, Neil and Passfield.
Hewlett goes low, finds Reeds. Hewlett again. It's a fortunate equaliser, but Weymouth will not care a jot. An enforced change. Tom Hewlett comes on. He probably had doubts about the delivery. I think maybe a defender got the final touch. But all that matters is it's in the back of the net, and what a final quarter of an hour we potentially have here. Tadley 2, Weymouth 2.
Well, it has been coming, and it's good play, really good play. It goes into Reed, he secures it and lays it off. And that little pass from Bearwish just puts it again in the path of Hewlett, and he puts pace on it, intent, and anything can happen from there. And it does come off one of the Tadley, I think it's Passfield that comes off the Tadley defender and goes beyond his goalkeeper.
So once again, we are all square. Weymouth have come from behind for the second time. Denham falls to right. His cross. Oh, good improvisation from Camden there.
That would have been outstanding. First bit he's done ever so well.
And here come Weymouth. A bit between the teeth, but once again that decision-making and quality of pass when in those offensive positions.
But you can see now Weymouth on it. This chance here, beautiful feet, really is from Camden. If you look, as the ball comes in, he's stood on his own in the middle, touch, flicks it over the defender. Unfortunately for him, the defender gets the block, but it's superb skill in sight area.
Tadley with another change here. And it's going to be a 17th birthday to remember for Ollie Rowan. He's going to come on to replace Sheldon Wright, a disgruntled Sheldon Wright, you can tell there. He knows he should have potentially had a goal to his name. But it is the manager turning to the youth. 17-year-old Ollie Rowan comes on to see if he can be, certainly at this stage of the game, Danny, a potential match winner.
Yeah, in the same way that Hewlett's made an impact on the other side, can he come on? Bright mind, a lot of legs. Can he make a difference?
It's going to be a Tadley corner.
You can see they're getting weary, the Tadley defenders. We knocked the stuffing out of them that last goal. As you say, before, there was an opportunity for Sheldon Wright He's come off the pitch now, but he'll be sat on the bench thinking about that now.
Miller's corner. Neil got something on it. It was the final touch off a Weymouth body. It was. So it'll be another Tadley corner.
What I will say is every time somebody scored, there's been a reaction from the opposite team. Nobody's folded. They're both trying to find a way to win this game. Both managers making substitutions to try and change the dynamics.
Changing corner taker. Go to McNeely with a really fine defensive header. Rowan making life difficult. Cook can't hold up play. It's coming straight back at the Weymouth back line. Rowan again. French. Trying to feed. It's Neil who stayed forward there, the centre half. So Tadley taking risks. Reed. Good chip.
I love the way they're talking him through on the sideline. Steve Claridge telling him where to go, what to do.
Reed. Cook. Neil. Both boxes. Defensive duties required this time around. Puts it behind for a Weymouth corner.
I think in the last couple of attacks, what's been really important for Weymouth is when the ball's gone into Ruben Reid, he's on the edge of the box. It has stuck, and he's brought somebody else into the game, into play. And the second strike has just freed him up a little bit. If you look here, secures it well. Lovely little touch and allows Luke Cook to get away and get a cross in, increasing the threat Weymouth.
Good Ship's corner, which somehow manages to evade everybody, but if someone would have got a touch, the referee had spotted a foul, so it will be a Tadley free kick.
Yeah, the referee spotting, I think, a little bit of strong contact from the Weymouth attacking players. It's waiting for somebody to be the hero.
Well, just less than 10 minutes of normal time remaining. McNeely towers above to win that header. Good spot. Reed can't bring the ball under control. Denham again being asked to make the runs in behind and force the goalkeeper to come off his line. Miller spots French. Poor touch. There's a bit too much speed there. Isai, drop of the shoulder, finds the youngster Rowan. Edge of the box, French, deflected. I'm sure it was the cleanest of connections to trouble. Clark still have possession here, Tadley. Muskie, excellent composure. Rowan, he seems to be a bit of a go-to man here for Tadley. Camden. French trying to work the ball around here. Camden! Oh! Almost with a screamer.
That would have been some goal. The move, side to side, in and out. The set just doesn't manage to get the contact or the accuracy with his contact, Camden. But it's lovely play from Tadley Calleva.
Jeremy Camden, from the Hampshire area, went away and spent 3 years at university before rejoining the Tadley setup. And a really bright prospect that the manager speaks very highly of. It's good to see a good mixture of experience and youth in both outfits, it has to be said. Reed. It's not quite fallen his way at any point so far this afternoon, Ruben Reid.
No,
he is carrying a bit of an injury, but given his experience, Danny, he'll be a frustrated man out there that he's not had more of an impact on the game.
I think so. I think he's, you know, as you say, the experience and the nous that you have when you've played where he's played, you would have expected that he would have had more of an impact in and around the box. He's had some nice moments.
There's going to be a change in midfield. Jack French replaced by Scott Costello. Reference earlier in the first half, the Neal brothers. So this is the younger one, Ash Neal. He comes on to replace Emmy Camden. Actually broke his wrist last season, the back end of last season, Ash Neal. So working his way back to full fitness. Reeds judged to have committed a foul there. Weymouth been told to stand on the ball there to prevent the early free kick. It was in fact not utilised effectively there from Tadley. But game management very crucial here, because no one wants an extra game, Danny, but what you do want is still to be in the competition.
Yeah, for sure. You know, that's why I say you're looking for somebody with a moment of brilliance to win the game for their team. So you don't need the extra fixture. And if you're Tadley, you want to make sure that while you're in it, you get the win today if you can.
By his side, Hanger finds Hewlett. Stands up his man. Gota once again. Very experienced man. Knows exactly what wingers are trying to do. Gets his body in the right position, and it's a Tadley goal kick.
Yeah, it was interesting that the linesman actually pointed to the corner and the referee overruled him and went for the goal kick. But you're right, it's bright play. Tom Hewlett, since he's come on, he's had a go. Managed to change the fortunes of Weymouth.
Here he is, looking for Cook, who gets away from his man, rides the challenge, Reed's in the box, angles against him, deflects. Should he have passed that? Ruben Reed's body language gives you some of the answer there, Danny.
No, 100%. He's done ever so well the first bit. He runs down the line, he evades a heavy challenge, skips it, but then he's thinking it's all, he's looking for the headlines. But Ruben Reed's there, just lay it back to him, he can tap it in, but you're not going to squeeze it in at the near post there. And as you say, Ruben Reed's body language showing huge deflation and disappointment at an opportunity that was right in front of their face.
And those travelling Weymouth supporters behind that goal as well.
But it does show what a difference Luke Cook's made since he's come on. The willing runner.
If I was hearing that right, I was the voice of the Weymouth manager, Steve Clary, saying we don't want to draw, speed things up. Isai able to pick out Miller. Ash Neal, ball stuck under his feet. Turning into a bit of an end-to-end affair here. Isai not able to pick out Rowan. Oh, either side going to have one final opportunity. Oh no! Oh no for Weymouth, but oh yes for Tadley! Danny Webber spoke about the intensity of the press all afternoon, and that's what you get if you force the issue. Alex Miller closing down the goalkeeper, and he gets the rub of the green. Tadley 3, Weymouth 2.
Unbelievable. And it comes from endeavour, it comes from the will to close down. And they brought it upon themselves. They go back to the goalkeeper, and it's young Ben Clark who just takes too long. He closes down, he smells an opportunity, Alex Miller, and he gets everything right, covers the ground, cuts off the angle and gets the bit of fortune that you want when you close down. And that's a steep learning curve for young Ben Clark, who's on loan.
Assistant engaged in dialogue with referee, so we're not able to relay exactly what's been said, but the goal stands, and don't you just love the FA Cup, whatever the level, the highs and the lows. And are we done just yet? We're in the 88th minute, and once again, Tadley, Calleva of the 9th tier have at this stage of the game more than one firm foot in the next round.
Anything can happen in this final few minutes from this game today, from what we've seen. Be ready.
Weymouth have to go for it now. They are quickly running out of time. They've done well to respond, Danny, twice. Questions have been asked, they've drawn themselves level, but you can't legislate for, again, it's pressure, it's decision-making, as Hangers there showing a yellow card for Weymouth.
Yeah, and it's so frustrating for Steve Claridge, but elation for Joe Lawler. You know, he made the substitutions, he saw his strikers getting weary, and that's come from that.
Denham! Looking to add to the scoreline. And as you can see, that's unfortunate.
A sniper in the crowd.
Yeah. Hewlett asked to turn very quickly and head in the opposite direction. Lost his footing, much to the delight of the home support, who have done the village of Tadley immensely proud in terms of them coming out and supporting their local team in what currently could be arguably the biggest day in their history. They've been around since the early 1900s, Tadley. A club steeped in history. Could this be their brightest day so far? Robinson. It's going to be very interesting how much added time referee will indicate here. 90 minutes are almost up. Good ship.
Look at the intensity of the closing down from Alex Miller, the goal scorer. He wants his goal to be the one that made the difference.
Hewlett on the turn. I wish it was. So we are 90 minutes are up. Cross comes in. Tom Bearwish, when a cool head was needed. He's unfortunately unable to deliver.
He's the one that you'd want it to fall to. His strike in the first half, his header earlier in this second half, he's been the most likely. Just lacked the composure and the technique to hit the target.
We are just waiting confirmation of how much added time there will be. As soon as we receive that from the ground, we'll get the graphic updated on screen. But Weymouth, it's a case of now or never in terms of the 2025-2026 FA Cup. McCarthy, McNearney, they want to play here, but perhaps the best option is just to go direct. Hewlett, can't find Hanger. Looks to clear it down the line, and Denham's done a good job there, just to slow up Weymouth.
I think when you get the opportunity to get it into the box when it's so late on and you've got the ball at your feet, you don't turn it down. Don't overplay. You get in and around the final third, make it count.
Hewlett trying to spin his man.
Goata's done well all game, stuck to his task, whoever he's played against.
McCarthy evades one challenge, tries to slip away from another. Good ship, deflected. Ash Neal can't clear effectively. Robinson, not the best of headers. And Denham, what does he do here? Does he go for the corner? He goes for a cross into the box, and he does get a corner.
It's not a bad ball, it made them have to defend it, really did. There's an argument for putting it in the corner and holding it there, but this is actually better.
The referee just asking for another ball. And apologies, we just do not know. Unless you're there and you're in the ground and you can at us at BBC Sport and tell us just how long that stadium announcement was for added time. We're in borrowed time in FA Cup first qualifying round. Ball still in play here. Oh, without doubt! Job done and dusted! The substitute, Costello, when many would have kept it in the corner flag, he makes something out of nothing and puts the tie beyond doubt. I can say with confidence that Tadley Calleva are into the next round. Tadley 4, Weymouth 2.
Superb. Just endeavour again. Every time he's the first to it, he drives past and then you get your fortune. He gets it, goes in off the defender, but don't take anything away from Scott Costello. He's the one who drove it, he's the one who showed the endeavour, and he got his rewards for his team.
It's a late show from Tadley Calleva, but as the graphic shows you on screen, surely the task is just too much now for Weymouth. They are heading out of the FA Cup. If we want to be the old cliche, they are being dumped out by lower tier opposition. A tough one for Steve Claridge and his team to swallow. They're not giving up just yet. We do love a cup set on the BBC. A reminder, if you are just joining us, you missed anything, you can rewind and watch back on BBC iPlayer. And certainly from a Tadley perspective, this is a game that will live long in the memory. Hanger. Goodship, who switched to the right-hand side now. Passfield's header. Will Goodship get there? No, Gota does. The referee has a long good look at his watch there. Denham goes for goal.
Anywhere will do.
Why not? You're 4-2 up. And we're at the referee's discretion, we can only assume here. Right, so our understanding is there's at least 2 minutes more, Danny.
There is, but it's all hands to the pump for Tadley. You know, it's all about men behind the ball, the endeavour they've shown all game, winning the first and second balls, and they've done it ever so well. But Weymouth may have a little shout here.
Well, you know, if we're talking about Fergie time, remembering that Champions League comeback, well, it only takes a second or so to score a goal. Manchester United did it on that night in the space of just over a minute or so. Is it beyond Weymouth here? Hanger needs to be a good delivery. It's met by a Tadley head, and Ollie Rowan will get there first. The youngster who's got plenty of energy goes cross-field, finds Ash Neal. How good's your first touch? It's a fine one. Reed. Was he offside? It's as though a lot of the Tadley players had stopped there. Weymouth is still going. Eastside battling with McCarthy, sticking to his task there. Both men slap hands. Great competitive contest it's been here, and it looks as though Tadley are going to come out of it on the right side. Cook goes around the outside. Gota clears.
They have been so hard-working, this Tadley team, in every aspect.
History in Hampshire. Joe Lawler masterminds an FA Cup giant killing. His Tadley Calleva side take down Steve Claridge's Weymouth. A mightily deserved 4-2 victory in the end. The mascots are on the pitch. It's a day the village of Tadley will remember for an awful long time. For the first time in their history, they are through to the FA Cup second qualifying round. Tadley Calleva 4, Weymouth 2.